So welcome to the first of a set of revision videos I'm going to do. This particular one is about activity 2 of BTEC Level 3 papers for Unit 2, and we're looking at Sharebrook Estate. The first set are just going to be looking at queries, so that's activity 2, the 2 queries. So let's have a look at Sharebrook Estate. The idea is that this place has events that run over Christmas to delight and entertain all of us. The database is actually relatively simple. We've just got information on events, customers, and event sales. So the solution tables are actually fairly straightforward. A little bit of validation stuff down here, which you'll need to do for activity 1. So let's go down and have a look at the query. There we go. 2 queries. Now, these are actually fairly straightforward, I would say. There's nothing too complex in it. Some of the queries have been a lot more complex than this, which is one of the reasons I've started this one first. So first query is to alphabetical list of events, and we're selecting only the 20th and the 21st of December records only. Only needs to show event description and event ticket price. And you'll get marked on that. If you include too many fields or the wrong fields, that will affect the marking. The second query, a little bit more sophisticated. So let's have a look at this first query. Here's my database. If I have a look at it, we've got our 3 tables. Typical with any sales scenario, the ticket sales are in the middle. So the scenario being that somebody phones up or it's online and they want to buy a ticket, the sale ID is recorded. The customer IDs are linked to the sale and the event is linked to the sale. So we have the sale in the middle. And that's pretty much it really with our one-to-many and one-to-many. So that's fine. So let's have a look at our queries. Tab back. First query. What we're after is an alphabetically sorted list of events running on these 2 dates. And all he's got to do is to show the event description and event ticket price. So there's not an awful lot of information we need there. So I'm going to close that and go to create query. Could use a wizard. I must admit, I'm not a fan of wizards. The tables I've got are customer, event, and sale. Now, we want information on the events. All we want is the date of the event, the description, and the ticket price. Now, that is all in the event table. I've got the event description, the event date, and the event ticket price. I do not need customer or sales. You don't need these. So if you're including these, you're wasting space, memory, and all kinds of bobbins. So we don't need that. All I want is event description, event date, and event sale. So I need to display the event description and the ticket price. Description and ticket price only. That's all we're displaying. So I want event description and ticket price. Now, the thing about building queries or coding or anything like that, do it one step at a time. Get each little step working, then add the next bit. So the first thing I want to make sure is I've actually got event and ticket price. There we are. We've got all of our events. I've added a couple in this because there just isn't enough data in some of these. Go back to the design, and we want to sort our event on description. So there we go. Sort option down here. Hit ascending. We've now got that sorted alphabetically. There we go. Lovely. So, event description, ticket price, alphabetically sorted list of events. Sorted. Now, the criteria we've got is we only want the events which are running on the 20th and the 21st of December. So we need to add some selection criteria into our query. So that's down here, criteria. I need to add some selection criteria, and I need to add it to the date. We've been asked to show the list of events running on the 20th and the 21st of December only. Now to do that, I need to add the date in, and here's my date. And the criteria is just the stuff running on the 20th, just the stuff running on the 21st. And I can add them into here. there's two criteria, and you know what? I'm just going to use two different lines in here. The first one is the 20th, 12th, 2019. Now, Access will recognize that as a date. The data type for the field is date. So as soon as I press enter, it will add these little hashes either side of the date to signify a date. Now, what that will do so far, testing as I go along, it will pull up all the events running on the 20th, the 12th. Now, we've been asked for the 20th of the 12th and the 21st. Now, there's two ways I can do this. I could put an all in here and then put the second date in like that. Again, it'll recognize that it's a date, and that will do the job. Or I can keep it simpler. I can keep it simple and put in 20th of the 12th. What's the 21st? Oh yeah, 19 on the second line. Look, there's an all here. I don't need to type all there. I can just put as many different criteria down here, and it will select that, or that, or that, or that, and that gives me exactly the same result. So there they go. That's the first query, and the evidence must be the design view of the query, including the fields and data. So that's what we want. We want the design view. So your data's, this is your screenshot. So just grab the screen however you do. I don't need all of this stuff at the top, all down the side. So if you're using Windows Shift and S, what I want is that with the decent query name. And that is the first of the two queries. I'm now going to fumble around and find the off key, as you do. Right, okay, so first of all, at the end of the last little clip, I forgot you need both design views. So take the design and the data sheet view together. So second query is the more complex one. We need to create a query which will calculate the number of table tickets sold and the income for the tickets. So look out for this. This means we just want table ticket sale, not sales for no table. So got to make sure you read the questions right. Displaying, we want the event description. So going from left to right, the event description, the number of tickets sold for the tables, and then the income generated. So we've got a sort criteria if you want. It's going to be description first. So let's have a look at the data we need for this. Create a query. Bang, bang. Definitely need event because that's got description in. We need the event description and we need the event ticket price. And we're also going to need sales because sales has got the number of tickets. So left to right, event description, the number of tickets and ticket price. We've got all of that and seat type because in our question it says the number of table tickets sold. So I need some criteria down here to make sure the seat type is just table. Now I'm not sure what they've used. Let's have a look. Wrong table. Right, so seat type is either table or no table. These are table tickets, so I just need to type in table. So down here, this is going to type in table. When I press enter, Access knows this is text. I don't need to put speech marks around it because Access will. It's going to run this now. And look, it's selected all of the events, all the number of tickets, the price, and the seat types. Now the problem is, of course, it's brought back every single time that a ticket was sold for these events, and I want these to group. I need them to group so I can then just count up the number of tickets sold for each event and calculate the money that they got in for each event. So I need these grouping rather than having every single instance that a ticket was sold. When you multiply this out to thousands of tickets sold or hundreds, then that's a lot of manual adding up to do. So we go back to our design. What we're after is some grouping and totaling of fields so we can start to do this stuff. And what we need is up here. This here totals button, which is actually that's a sigma symbol for those of you who know your Greek. Now if I hit that, down the bottom we get this extra row, and this totals row gives us a number of options. Defaults to group by, but you can also do all of this lovely stuff in there, which are pretty self-explanatory. All we're going to use really generally is the top lot down here, and an expression. I'm going to leave this on group by, and when I run it, you can now see that it's starting to group these. So I've got my group for Christmas song time here, Die Hard, Home Alone. And the next level of grouping is on the number of tickets. So because there are different values in these, it's grouped on those as well. I don't want to group on number of tickets. I want to know how many number of tickets were sold for each description. So instead of having group by, I need to change this to sum. Sum will add up the value of those fields. So I change that to sum, run my query, and now I've got a count of the number of tickets. Home Alone, 12 people went to see Home Alone. Can you believe it? Die Hard's only 6. Anyway, I've now got grouped on my events the sum of the number of tickets sold. So I know how many tickets have sold. So now I need to figure out the value of those tickets. So I'm looking for 80 there, 66 here, another number there, and so on, 60 there. So I need to get some value in event ticket as well. Now I'm leaving seat type there just so I can see that it's still pulling in the right records. It doesn't need to be displayed, so I will get rid of it. But seat type I will get rid of eventually. So surely I can just put some in there. And it looks all right. It's giving me some values, but Christmas song time, Die Hard was definitely 11. So 6 times 11 is not 22. So this is doing something, but it is not doing the right thing. It is not multiplying the number of tickets sold by the cost of those tickets. So if I just check and have a look at the event, Christmas song time is 10 quid. Now, get off. 8 times 10 is not 30. Die Hard was 11. 6 times 11 is not 22. So this is doing something, but it is not giving me the right value. So I need to come at this another way. Sum isn't going to work. What I need is an expression. I need an expression that's going to do a little bit of maths for me. I want to multiply the number of tickets by the value of the ticket for each sale. So it's 10 quid for Home Alone. I need to multiply the number of tickets by the ticket cost for Home Alone. I need to add an expression. Now I'm just going to add another field in here. I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to drag that over there, that over there. No, I'm not. I can do that. Expression. So an expression enables us to type a function. We can add some formula into this bit. Because I'm creating a brand new field here that's going to be displayed when I run. It'll be here. I need to give it a name. Now the names are known as an alias. And now I'm going to call this income, because I think that's what they've said, the income generated yet. So I'm going to call this field income, and then I use a colon. So income is what the field's going to appear as. I don't think anything will happen at the moment. No, it doesn't. I need to give it a value. I need to tell it what maths I want it to do. Now I want the number of tickets multiplied by event ticket price. Now I'm doing this deliberately wrong because this is going to happen when you're doing your exam, and if you get these errors you'll know why. Now that looks okay to me. You know, I've got my number of tickets, which is here. I've got that summing, so I'm adding up all the value, by my event ticket price, which is going to be the £10, £11.15. Now, if I run this, no, it doesn't like that. It doesn't like that at all. It doesn't recognize these. Well, for a start, I don't have ticket price in there. I got rid of it. So I'm just going to drag that back down in here. Now, that should be all right. No, it's not. The problem is with here, number of tickets. When I run this, the name of this field has changed. It's not number of tickets, it's sum of number tickets. It gains another name when you run the query. It becomes sum of num tickets, which is no good. I can't refer to it in my function down here because it only exists when the query is running. So I need to give it an alias that I can refer to. So I'm going to call it tickets, if I can spell, tickets sold. So I've created an alias for that one as well. So if I go back to my question, I want the number of tickets sold and the income generated. So I've called this field tickets sold and this one income. So that means I have to refer to tickets sold. Tickets sold. So my query is now income is an expression and it's multiplying tickets sold by the event ticket price. I know how people feel like now when they're doing live TV because I've got to press the button now and hope that it works. It's worked. So what I've got now, I changed the name of this to tickets sold so that I could refer to it. I've still got seat type in there. I don't care. I'm going to remove that in a minute. I've still got event ticket cost in there. I don't care. I'm going to remove it in a minute. I've got it in there so that I can check my maths. 8 times 10 is 80. 6 times 11 is 66. 12 times 1250 is 150. 8 times 13, 8 times 24, yep. And yes, that definitely works. I just can't bother to do the maths. My query works. I can then hide table, I don't need it, and I can hide ticket price, I don't need it. So let's have a look. I was asked to display the event description, number of tickets sold, and income generated. Event description, number of tickets sold, and income generated. It is a beautiful thing. Just rewind a couple of things. If you're using sum or count, when you run the query, that field gains another name. It would become sum of, and whatever that field's called, count of, whatever that field is called. So that name only exists when the query is running. It's a virtual name. It's not in the design view. So if you want to write a function, an algorithm that refers to a field, you need to give it an alias so you can refer to it. Otherwise, this will not work. Event ticket price. Even though I'm not displaying the event ticket price, I need to have it in my query so that that function knows what it is. Finally, even though I've got a search criteria here on seat type, I don't need to have seat type displayed for it still to be effective. It's still going to work. So that is the solution for this one. And once again, we need screenshots of that. And draw a nice one of this. Do save them though, so they can see you've got the correct query name following the BTEC criteria. So a query would be QRY, event sales, or whatever you want to call it. Just the same as event is TBL event. So that, my young chums, is how to do the Sharebrook queries.